Ahoy there! This week we are going from St Mawes to Penzance, not Newlyn, as I say in the video. What can you expect to see this week? Well, you can see me look at some water. You can also see me try and find a hood. I think I have a hood. And you can see a pretty lady throw food at me. Apart from that, I sailed around Lizard Point, which was exciting. It got a little bit choppy and a little bit windy, and put my stanchions in the water at one point, which was fun. But yeah, no further ado, let's go. We have Das Vater, St Mawes. We're going that away. Whew, right. Let the engine warm up for a good 20 minutes. Get everything on charge now while the engine's running. Yeah, back in a bit. Alright, all the gear, no idea. She's warmed up, we're going to slip in about 3 or 4 minutes. I'll go forward, chuck the pickup boy over and get everything ready to just drop the chain. So scared about taking my camera up and losing it, because although I get all the footage off, this is like, well no, actually Matt's dropped me some cameras off, so I've got some more cameras, but I do not want to lose this camera. So I'll try and poke it on somewhere so that you might see something, but you know. Right, Lizard Point. Yeah, so I think I want to hit it around about 3 hours after high water Dover, which is about 16:20, something like that. But when I get down there, we're going to anchor before it, because we've got some time, and call the NCI. So the National Coast Watch Institution is a bit like the forgotten Coast Guard almost. They've all volunteers, and they sit in the huts with the big binoculars. They have them at Portland and all around the UK, and they volunteer their time to go and sit up there, and they watch people go through tricky bits of water and stuff like that, and call in help if they need it, and you know, really look out for people. So yeah, awesome set of people. So it'd be nice to get them up on the radio, ask some advice from them, chat to them for a little bit. Yeah, all good fun. I'll do something and then we'll go. In fact, I might just slip the lines now. Chuck the buoy over, just got to dump the chain now. Yeah. Pointing the bloody camera the wrong way. I'm just going to have to put this down. So a reverse around away from that buoy there, and then we've just spun around nice and neat. We're going to head out into a very grey, very miserable channel. Queen's Gambit's over there. I think that's Stacey on the bow. It looked like she was waving her hands up, but she's actually coiling rope. Yeah, we're on our way, and the rain started, so it's going to be a fun one. I think I have a hood. I think I have a hood. We'll see. I need to look where I'm going. Yeah, so we're underway. just coming around this headland. You can see the little lighthouse Mordanga over there that's probably got a name and does some things. Falmouth is over there. Big shipyard, Penzance I think it is. Queen's Gambit's following us up. Yeah, and we're in absolutely no rush. So what I think I'm going to do is just stick the headsail out maybe, and just have a nice chilled out sort of downwind sail, just faff. There's no rush, we can't go anywhere, I've got a drop anchor, so yeah, I think that might be a zip plan. All good in the hood. I'll try and film that. Yeah. It's a bit grey. Yeah, well. Alright, I've got Maddie doing the steering. Hopefully that angle's wide enough you're going to see me actually do something. Even though it is just get out the headsail. Ain't got no wind. Ain't got no wind. See what happens.
I slept well. The hatch was open at 1 o'clock in the morning. We woke up completely soaking.
Oh, there's no wind. Maybe when we get around there the wind will fill in a bit, but
Yeah,
it's supposed to blow up later on.
yeah.
And then overnight it dies completely, and then tomorrow it's like 20 odd knots
Yeah.
northerly, so we can either shoot to the Scillies and just sort of reef down, or chill out in Newlyn and I can have a shit shower and a shave, but not a shave.
Yeah. No, I'm not shaving till I get there. And you're not shaving till you've done the whole thing. You just hold the course, Harry. I'll come nice and close to you.
Cockpit. It's like having my own support ship.
I love it, mate. We just said that, we just support ship, yeah. Wait there, we get close to it. There we go. Wait till we get
Thank you very much. I'll buy you a meal when we get there.
Is there a pub?
In Newlyn there is. Oh, now he's brightened up.
He's just perked up.
Just did a little Raz refuel at sea, some granola bars. I noticed they didn't throw any bacon or sausage or eggs over, which I know they've got, because they keep telling me they're having bacon butties. But alas, you just can't get the friends. They did send me a picture yesterday of them all. Like, what have you had for your dinner? And sent me a picture of them all around a big pot with like potatoes and all sorts in it. And I was there eating 2 pieces of buttered bread. It's easy though, isn't it? And I like butter and I like bread, so this is going to be a really chilled out journey. I'm just doing 3 or 4 knots, just faffing around. I need the engine on because I forgot to charge things last night. Yeah, just get to that anchorage and see how we go. I'll actually call the NCI up before we get there and perhaps see what they think about the race at that time. I think it's strong westerly flow at that time. There's practically no wind. What wind will be from the north or northwest, but you know, we could cut inshore on it, which I think we're going to do anyway. But I'd rather go at slack, just because, you know, it's what we did at the Bill. It's just not a drama then. So yeah, I'll do that. Leaving behind the Fal with St Mawes over on this side, Falmouth just up there, and if you keep going you get to Truro. Interesting tidbit about Truro is that when I was a nipper I used to live in Newquay, and the last time I went to the dentist was in Truro when I was 14, because I treat dentists like I treat doctors. If I ain't ill I ain't going. So if I ain't got sore teeth I don't need dentists, do I? There's nothing wrong with them, just brush them and that. Bloody thousands of pounds a year faffing with your gnashers. It's done it for eating stuff. If they fall out, get plastic ones. Oh, yeah. Anyway, catch up when there's something to catch up on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the wind has filled in a little bit and we are sailing, no engine, on a beam reach. I mean, we're doing like 5.5, I think, 5.5, 6, something like that. Pointing to where we want to go, which is a lovely change. Don't want to jinx it. But yeah, cruising. There's like very little fetch. It's only light winds. There's very little fetch because of the land just there. So the sea's flat, calm. It's beautiful. Yeah, a bit cold. I might put the big jumper back on. It does look like it's going to absolutely shut it down. I can't have everything all my way, can I? There's still have to be something. But yeah, glorious. Sweet as a nut. Ahoy! So we are downwind at the minute. I don't know if you can see the hawk up there. So the principles are different downwind. Do you remember, like when we were going upwind, we were waiting for the headsail to luff, and then we would pull the tiller towards us to bear away slightly. So the principles are reversed downwind. So if I come and bring the wind further aft, you'll see that the headsail luffs, starts to luff, luff you bastard. And when it does that, then you want to bear away. Actually the wind's just moved around to the beam, so I've been struggling to sort of keep that marker on a constant bearing to get towards it. I'm going to cut slightly inside of it. It's East Cardinal Boy. No, the wind's changed, so I can't even show you. Oh, there it goes. So now it's luffing, so I'll push the tiller away from me. Oh yeah, I was pulling the tiller the wrong way. Right, so if I go like that, we'll start luffing. Like that. Yeah, that means I've gone too far through the wind. So you push the tiller away from you and the wind fills back in. This, ladies and gentlemen and everything in between, is why I was not a teacher. Yeah, but basically it's backwards, which means you've got to remember it's backwards, because when you don't, accidental jibe anyone? We don't want one of those. But yeah, honestly, I can barely feel the breeze at the minute, obviously because we're going downwind. The faster you go, the less wind there is effectively, because you're running away from it. I can barely feel a breeze, and we're doing like, I don't know, 4 or 5 knots. Just chilled out, absolutely chilled out. I've learned that my autopilot, Maddie, actually has NEMA on it. So like, if I could get all the wind instruments and everything plumbed into the Orca, I could actually sort of steer to wind and stuff like that. But you need a converter because it's all 0183 on my boat. And the Orca's 2000, obviously the modern standard, and the converter's like 180 quid or something stupid like that, so I won't be doing that anytime soon, maybe when I get back. But I actually don't have any of the instruments on. The wind instrument packed up, it's moving and everything alright up at the top, but the signal's not getting down, so I think it'll be a loose wire or a bad earth or something like that. I'll get around to fixing it, but I don't particularly need it anyway. But yeah, just coming around, I think it's called Two Brothers, and then we'll move round, we'll turn to starboard some, which we'll get. I thought I just saw a dolphin. No, we'll be turning to starboard some, so we won't be as deep downwind, which will be more comfortable. We won't be running, I think it's called. We'll be broad reaching, I think it's called. So this is the thing with sailing, half of it is just the terminology, and you don't really, do you need to know it? You only need to know the terminology when you're talking to somebody else about it. Like, I don't need to know what stuff's called, I'll just do it. So yeah, it is handy to know, but don't let anything be a barrier to you just going doing stuff, because it turns out when you do stuff you can have a bloody good time, like me now, sailing downwind at 4 knots in flat calm seas and moody skies, and going around Lizard Point later on today, and yeah, screw it dude, screw it. Yeah, I'm technically going around the wrong side of it, but it's fine because I'm only little. Alas, my hearties, it was beautiful while it lasted, yet the wind has died. However, I'm in absolutely no rush to go anywhere, so I'm just going to bob around here. It's quite pleasant. I just hardened up the main so it's not flogging around. The jib's alright, Genoa. Queen's Gambit's way off behind as well, so they're doing quite a bit of motor sailing. I think I'm being bitten. They're doing quite a bit of motor sailing, and they were just ticking over. They got mackerel lines out trying to catch fish, so they're just pootling along, so I'll just sit here and bob about and let them catch up. I had these grandiose plans of going to that anchorage and all the rest of it, and I think if we just bob around, I might just do the Lizard in one hit. The winds aren't as forecast, it's much lighter. It was supposed to be sort of 20 knots on the nose when going into Newlyn, and it just isn't going to be, unless it fills in later, which it may do. So, decisions, I'll get down there, I'll speak to the NCI, see what they think. It looks really benign, doesn't it? The tide is ripping, so I just went past a pot that I didn't even see. It was maybe 5 meters off my port side, and one of the major reasons I didn't see it is because it was almost entirely submerged, and at points completely submerged by a foot or so, because the tide's ripping down. It just drags the buoy underwater, so I need to pay close attention to that, which I'm not doing because I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, our wind's coming in a little bit now. But yeah, glorious. There's a big like transport ship thing over there. Queen's Gambit's way back there. It's just a gorgeous day, ladies and gentlemen, and germs and stuff. Right, gonna roll a fag, I think. Change of plan. It's all got a little bit of champagne, so I'm actually just gonna go straight around the Lizard and head straight for Newlyn. It looks perfectly doable. I'm doing like 8-point-odd knots over the water. So what I'm going to do is just head south around the bottom of the race. I might just have a look at it. I might go through it. The tide's in our favour. There's no waves, but it's probably worth just going around the bottom. And our ETA at Newlyn, if I keep this speed, which I won't, will be 10 to 4, which is glorious. Get alongside, have a shower, all will be well with the world. So yeah, that's the new plan. That is Lizard Point just there. There's quite a few pot boys knocking around, so I've got to concentrate, and they're getting dragged under by the tide. But yeah, that's what we're doing. All good fun. Hopefully no dramas. This is the way the world works though. If I had some massive drama off Lizard Point, I'd probably make enough money to pay my boat off, but I'd rather not have the drama, thank you. I swear to you, I just heard a whale blowing blowholes. Mate, I must be going insane. Definitely just heard a whale. Show me a whale. I'll turn the camera off, and I swear to you, a whale will appear. It was definitely a whale blowhole hole noise. Right, I'll turn the camera off. I did just see something. It was right there. I saw a fin. I don't think it's a whale though. I think it's dolphins. There it is again. Do you see it? Come and say hello. There it was again. Why you not say hello to me? And again, they turn in. Bloody wind's died. I need to change the battery in this camera. I heard them again. They were probably up my bow for about 10 minutes and I didn't realise. Anyway, I need to concentrate. I'll change this battery in case something hairy happens. But I basically ran out of wind. Well, I've got a little bit. I'm still moving. Trouble is, I don't want to get drawn into the race. I need enough wind to keep me out of the race, sort of thing. It doesn't actually look that bad, but I still don't want to be in there. A sailboat's just gone through the inshore passage over there, it looks like. Right, changing the battery. Guaranteed dolphins when I change the battery. I didn't get a chance to change the batteries. The wind's picked up, the chop's picked up, my busyness has picked up. So I'm just concentrating on doing the sailing bit. I'm coming further south than the course, just to stay well away from the race, because quite a strong tidal flow. I'm doing like 8.5 knots over the ground. I'm probably doing 5 through the water, so I've got 3 knots of tide that's trying to drag me into the race. So what I'm doing is just keeping pointing south and letting my course over ground drift that way, just by the nature of the tidal flow. I'll stay on this heading for about another 20 minutes, half an hour, and then, see, the trouble is I'm quite close to the wind, so I can't really tack into Newlyn Bay, so I might go further south and then tack. It is what it is. What I don't want to do is be out too long and the tide change and start pushing me the wrong way. So what I may do is get around the race, stick the engine on and get closer to the wind, drop the headsail and motor sail westward a little bit, or something to that effect. I don't know. Make it up as we go along. Do what's comfortable. This is still comfortable, just about. I think I'm out of the worst of it now. It's calmed down probably by 50%. There's still the odd one coming through. I managed to get new battery. The odd one coming through like that one. I managed to get the battery. This one's a grim one. He thought it was all over. It wasn't. Yeah, but absolutely fine. There was a point where I was like, oh, this is getting worse and worse instead of better and better. Maybe I've cocked this up, but it's fine. I'm moving along. In a little bit, in maybe 30 minutes or so, I'll put a tack in up into the bay. I don't want to tack too early and basically end up pointing towards the lizard point, so I'm just going to go quite a ways off, and yeah, but yeah, a bit bouncy, boat's handling it well, nothing's overstressed, there's not a lot of wind, just enough to be sort of the right speed really. When the big waves come, I usually bear away a little bit and take them on the cheek sort of thing, more on the cheek so it doesn't bury the bow. It's worked really well. It also slows the boat down slightly so that you're not just smashing into waves, which isn't good for anything. He says as he smashes into a wave. I should be concentrating, which is what... which is what I'm going to go and do. See you in a bit. Classic novice sailor, put a tack in too soon, got tackitis. I said to Guy, I've gone too soon again. He's like, classic novice sailor. So I needed a bit of a break, so I stuck the engine on and went head to wind for half an hour, charged the batteries up, charged my batteries up as well. Now I've got the sails back out and I'm heading westish, which will, and when I am south of Newlyn, I'll tack then. I'll do another maybe 3 or 4 miles on this heading, and then tack, and it'll be a nice comfortable beam reach. This is just little things I need to get used to, in that it feels like you're going away from somewhere, but you need to sort of wait and pick your time to tack. Yeah, so all learning, which is what this trip is for. I might even know a bit of what I'm doing by the time I get back, or be dead. But yeah, all good fun. I need to go down below and get my Orca tablet out. It's been on charge all day. I forgot to charge it last night, because it's good being able to use it on your phone, but the screen's so bloody small. It's handy as a backup, but anyway, right. I'll give you a shout when there's something to report. First proper cock up. The wind just came up out of nowhere. It caught with too much sail up. I was near fucking horizontal. Filled the headstay away. Filled the headsail part way to get some sail area down. I've got a reef in the main. And then I pulled it in and forgot to make off the furling line, so it just came back out, pulled it in again, but the wind is directly out of where I need to go. I can't make way to it whatsoever, so I've just filled the headsail. I've got the iron wind on and I'm just smashing it through, sort of thing. Still doing 4 knots over ground. Basically I need to get in before the tide turns against me. It's going to take me 2 hours. I can see the place. Queen's Gambit are just motoring. It's pretty grim. Then naturally it looks absolutely flat calm. But yeah, woo! Every single day the wind has been completely wrong, but I need to get there. So yeah, I'm using the engine as a get out of jail free card, but if the engine was to go, I could get a point of sail. It'd take me several hours to tack into there, but I could do it. It wouldn't be very pleasant. So yeah, motoring. All the jib sheets got tangled up while I was furling and everything. I don't want to go up to the bow just now. So I'll just leave it filled up. Yeah, exciting times aboard Genie Stewart. Oh dear. Right, it looks like I'm going the wrong way because I'm pointing over here, but going directly into there is right into the head seat, which is really uncomfortable for the boat and me a little bit. So what I've done is turn off this way. The tidal streams, tidal currents are going to come up here because it's a rising tide. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to get in the lee of this shore a little bit and then catch the tidal current up. That's the theory. Whether it works in practice, we shall only find out. But I am getting peppered. Yeah, a big set comes through like that and the boat just gets slowed right down because she's in it light. Queen's Gambit is just ploughing through it way over there. So yeah, I'm having to take a roundabout route, but we'll get there. All is good. It's all about learning. That's what this trip's for. So yeah, some good lessons. Plus, if I go over that way a bit, there's a chance I'll get a point of sail and be able to sail in like a friggin' hero. That does it. Right. Oh, see you in a bit. Well, I've not eaten today. I had those bloody things that Stacey jumped over for me. Not anything to eat. In fact, I've not been out of the cockpit once. Yeah, should address that really. Another load coming through. It's not the size of them. They're not big waves in the slightest. It's just they're so close together. The boat doesn't get a chance to sort of, after it's gone through one wave, it doesn't get a chance to sort of come back up and level out. It plows into the next one, bow down, which is why you get the spray. But yeah, through the race before, did actually submarine her a little bit. The entire boat was underwater. I'm looking after her, she's alright. It's just a bit rough, isn't it? No, it's not. It was. Yeah, all good in the hood. 2 hours to go, is it? Something like that. 2 hours to go. Oh, that's it. We can't get into Newlyn because it's a fishing port. Dave has a dog on board, little Billy. So they won't accept vessels with animals on board for obvious hygiene and stuff, regional reasons. So we're going to Penzance. We're going to pick up a mooring buoy just outside for the time being, and then have a little discussion. And maybe going to Penzance for the night. I'm looking at the weather, and it's marginal tomorrow to do Land's End. The trouble is, once you get on the north coast of Cornwall, it's going to be like gusting 20, which is fine, but it's northerly and northwesterly, which is great for sailing, but really, really bad for having somewhere to hide or to anchor or stay overnight. And past those a long old stretch to get there. Plus, there's a tidal gate on that end, which means you've got to get there at certain times, and it's just not sort of working out. Yeah, it's a difficult little stretch up to Padstow. There are anchorages, plenty of anchorages, but none of them are protected from northerlies. None that I can see anyway. So I'm going to have another look at that, and we'll get together over a beer tonight and discuss what we're going to do. But yeah, keep it going. Yeah. I don't know if I've got soup in my beard or if it's bloody salt water. Can't tell. Still chugging along. I've got something wrong with my ear, so I'm going deaf in this ear anyway. I have tinnitus quite often. Tinnitus. But now when I speak, you know, like a speaker in a car radio, sometimes the diaphragms used to break on them, the cardboardy bit, and they'd have this like rattly thing. But when I'm talking, that's what I can hear in this ear. And if I'm on the phone, in fact, even when other people are talking, so I don't know what's going on in there. Maybe I've got something stuck in it. But
day in the life, isn't it? I don't know why you'd want to know anything about that, or even why you'd want to see me eating a cold can of soup, but I've got to film something, haven't I? Right.
It looks, I've just had a look on Google Maps, it looks like we'll be rafting up inside Penzance, which isn't ideal because I don't know which side I'm going to be to or anything, so I was putting her in neutral just to slow me down, but the winds can't overcome the wind in neutral, so I think I've got a raft up, which I'm crapping myself about a little bit because I've only got 6 fenders and 3 each side with the shape of the boat isn't really great, so hopefully Queen's Gambit will be able to give me a lift, but I'll just leave this doodad running and we'll see if we cock anything up, which we probably will. Et voila, we are done.
Well, I saw them putting that netting around. I thought, better do mine.
Talking a bit. Ooh. That was a grueler. Very, very tired, getting in bed. So the plan was tomorrow to make a break for Padstow, but I don't think we'll make it. And then there's a blow coming through the following day, so I think we're just going to go to the Isles of Scilly instead, because why not? And there's no tidal gate there, stuff like that. So I think, yeah, tomorrow I'll be going to the Isles of Scilly, which wasn't on the list, but we'll be doing. I'm just in Penzance. Odd little place, rafted up against Queen's Gambit, and another boat that's come from Portland and is also going to Penarth. I'm a bit tired. I could have done with a day off really, but it is what it is. Tomorrow's another day. We could just get going. Yeah, going through the race was exciting. Ended up with my stanchions in the water because I had too much sail up. That was exciting. Having to motor 2 hours into the waves as well because the wind was where I wanted to go. That wasn't exciting. That was just dreary. But off to bed now. Up at 5:36 in the morning to set off at high tide here, which is about 7:30. Then onwards to the Scillies. Sit out at the Scillies the following day. Head back the day after. Try to get to Padstow or somewhere. It's a long slog, that north coast of Cornwall. That's the issue. There's no refuge really until Padstow, and there's northerlies all week. Virtually any other wind direction we would have been able to find somewhere, but such is life. Good night.